Another one. That's actually what I said after reading this comment. So I'm going to read this comment to you guys, and you guys let me know what you think. I'm going to need all my people with the resumes in here because, you know, I'm not really biased towards anything unless it's Ash, right? So what's basically going on here is that today we're going to be talking about some important stuff. But before I get to that, let me get this comment out the way. Time to read. Actually, LifeOfRio, your opinions are very flawed. I was like, God dang, flawed. Okay. Just to let you know, endgame should not be a thing in Warframe. I will definitely be fighting for this on the forums, and it's a lot of people who are backing the fact that endgame should not be a thing. Steve said it best the other day, and that's bite-sized Warframe is all that we need. Fashion frame, the game has built up a great audience just upon those two things. The fact that you and your community is pushing for endgame is the reason why Warframe is taking longer to put out updates. All right, so now can we speak on that? That's what that young man said, and my only response to that was another one. Because what in the world are we talking about here today? Like, that guy had to come from playing like Animal Crossing or something. I don't know what else to be going on here. You had to be an Animal Crossing player, and I'm pretty sure Animal Crossing had endgame. I'm just saying, you probably have to farm for some vicious stuff in Animal Crossing. But to not want difficult content or just something to be above the normal for other players, and to say that I'm actually biased about it is a little weird, because that means that you're biased as well. So you guys let me know what you feel about that comment. I just had to read that. I had to meditate on that one for a bit. And that's the community that I like to trigger right there when I say the things that I do in these videos, like AKA, that's the community that I'm always telling them, fix your shirt. Fix your shirt, man. Fix your goddamn shirt. You know? So let's get started with the video. I'm sorry. I just had to talk about that. Let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is the fix for, I would say, survivals with spawning at a certain point for when you're doing solos or anything else like that, to how it's soft capped. Because what I found out is that it is soft capped to how enemies actually run out. Now, it wasn't like that a couple updates ago. These are actually frequently newer added things that's in the game, to how it's soft capped with enemies, to how they'll stop spawning and stuff like that. I made a video about it maybe like a month ago, but this is the fix that I have for it to propose to you guys, and you guys let me know what you think about this one in the comment section. You guys give me your own ideas, so then I can pass those ideas along, because if the ideas are amazing, you better bet your pink shorts that I want that idea actually updated into the game. So here's what's actually going on. My fix for it is have a set spawn range. Currently, right now, what's going on in the game is that there's no set spawn range. The enemies are actually spawning off of Survival 1.0, which is out of certain doors, behind certain locked doors. Now, they've updated it 2 updates ago to where enemies can spawn behind you on certain maps if you're camping there. But the survival spawn rate is still off Survival 1.0, which is from a couple years ago, which has not changed because it's still on the same formula of the set life support spawning as well, to how it follows the same trend. Now, that's a given. So one thing that I wanted to point out is that have a range lock to where the enemies spawn with at least 40 meters away, 30 meters away, and they actually come towards you within that set spawn ratio. Now, a lot of games follow this ratio of like, well, not ratio, a lot of games follow this formula to where it's a set range to where the enemies spawn from, like a zone, and they come right from behind there, and it keeps a horde of enemies. Dynasty Warriors do that. Diablo also does that as well with the spawn ratio with the enemies. Now, Warframe do have one thing that's very nice in the game, and one thing that's very nice is going to be Fisher missions. Fisher missions are easily the future of Warframe spawning, and I think it is the most beautiful thing in the game. And what I'm trying to propose, my overall favorite idea, is for Fisher missions. Now, Fisher missions are a little bit weird because the ones don't pop up that you really want to do, like a mod MOT or a Selkie MOT or a difficult one, period. It doesn't really pop up. It's always like an exterminate or something going on there. But the enemy spawning on Fishers are brilliant. It's RNG spawning, but it has a certain meter locked in. And I think that is the most beautiful thing to what we can get in Warframe. So what I'm proposing is just have it to where you have Fisher missions, not the exact Fisher missions, not a relic, but the Fisher style spawns in regular survivals. If you had that in regular survivals, it doesn't have to be a Fisher. It could just be enemies popping up in those areas, those set areas, but actually give us some verification that enemies are going to be popping up there. And basically that would help out your life support tremendously. Now, the reason why a lot of endurance players and a lot of players that love doing solo like to do Fisher missions is that Fisher missions has a higher level cap on enemies. And if you guys don't know, survival has a cap on how many enemies can actually be on the tile floor with you. Fisher missions has a higher cap on enemies. It has a faster spawn rate, which increases kills per second for you, which then increase RNG drops for you, which then is going to increase a longer run overall for you to be able to push yourself. Now, before I go any further, if you're not a person that does, you know, long runs or survivals, high-end survivals, then this content of what I'm speaking about isn't for you. And for you to actually speak on it, then it'll be kind of weird. It's kind of like me speaking on super early new player experiences. I don't really pay attention to it. I kind of try to, you know, create an outlet for us to speak with, you know, endurance runs and long player experiences, because we don't really have too much, and this is my networking area of expertise to where I can help people out in survivals, and that's my main thing. I love that stuff. We may not get rewards from it, but this is what we do, and we're actually pushing the notion to actually getting rewards for it. So I just wanted to put that out there. So the main thing is Fisher missions can actually change and dictate just the future of Warframe with the spawn count. Now, I've been studying Fisher missions, and the thing about it is that when the Fisher opens, there's no set point towards the Fisher. It's just random RNG. It can drop beside you. It can drop 10 meters away, 20 meters away. It could drop to the left. It could pull up in your mom's house, in the basement. It doesn't matter. Fisher missions don't care. Now, when those Fisher missions come out, they come with at least five enemy spawnings. They bring the people from the void. Now, the cool thing, they bring one each enemy type from the void most of the time, and they change you over. Now, the good thing about Fisher missions is that it's following the Diablo 3 formula of spawning. And with that new spawn system to how they have it implemented into Warframe, with Fisher missions, I feel like the fix for regular survivals is just so easy to how you can just transition that from Fisher missions over to regular survivals, and that would make the gameplay a lot faster and a lot more intense. The thing is with survivals is that it's actually kept to the pace on how you kill enemies, but then it's not actually set towards the perfect kill speed of you, because you, the player, yes, I'm talking to you who's listening right now, if you're killing extremely fast in a survival, the enemies aren't going to spawn extremely fast. The enemies have a set value on the ratio on how they're going to be spawning before they come towards you, and that's the problem in the survival to why it's actually stopping you as a player from actually making it like really far. Like it's handicapping a lot of different things from coming out. Now the Fisher missions doesn't do that. Once you kill an enemy in the Fisher missions, enemies are running at you. There's two types of spawn that's going on in a regular Fisher missions, which makes it amazing. So you have the enemies who are normally running at you. Once you kill those enemies are spawning out. Then you have Fisher missions that's opening up in those missions that's also bringing their own enemies at the same time. So having two types of spawn with regular enemies running towards you, you have more than enough rush built up, you know, hypeness off of that from killing so many enemies. You're getting so much life support drops. It's a better reward system for RNG. Not a reward system is what you're getting, but it's a better farming mechanic for keeping up life support. You can actually farm more things, and it's a lot more high intense value on whenever you're doing these survival runs. And I think it's just a really good thing to look at. And you guys let me know, what do you think about putting Fisher missions into the survival aspect of the game, the regular survival aspect? Now, we're not going to make it to where it's a Fisher to where you get special things from it. I'm just talking about that type of spawn setup in a regular survival to increase regular survival runs, because right now it's soft capped and it's pretty weird to look at. But if you're one of those players that don't care, you don't care because you don't go there. But this is for the players that do, and I just wanted to speak on this because I thought it was a really great idea so far. And with everything else that's going on with Fisher missions, it's so weird to actually wait for the Fisher missions to come up to the side on your ship whenever you go to check, because it's either a exterminate, a rescue, a defense, something that you don't want to play most of the time. It's always low leveled. It's really low level. The high level Fisher missions rarely come up. And if you guys have noticed that, please let me know. But it's so incredibly weird. and I just want it to be fixed. My whole thing for pushing Warframe, man, I love the game, and I want to put out as much quality of life changes that I can actually help encourage, or we as a community can help encourage. And you guys know that that's what it's all about. We speak on the game because we want it to be better, and quality of life changes would be great. And the fix is already there. I just want them to slide it on over to the left. Take it back now, y'all. One stump this time. All right. You guys know I'm crazy. But shout out to you guys. By the way, these birds are killing me, dude. Like, it took forever. I'm gonna let you guys hear the intro on how annoyed I was. I'm gonna let you hear the intro a little bit in the end right now. Like, on my first intro that I was gonna do, and the birds, just listen for the bird sound. Rewind it so you can hear the birds. Bro, they're beefing with me. I don't know what I did, but they're beefing with me, and we have something going on. So I'm not gonna lie, I went outside and I looked at the bird. This could be why I'm having vision problems, why my eyes are hurting, because I looked at that bird looked at me, and I legit wanted to hit him with an Amaterasu. I was straining. I seen the vein in my eyes. I was like, started bleeding. Didn't really start bleeding. I'm just saying I wanted to pull an Itachi on that bird, man. I'm about to set that thing aflames. Oh my God. All right. So I vented to you guys. Thank you guys for listening. You know, this is why I'm here. We're a family. I love you guys so much. And if you guys don't know the bird story, birds are always outside my window chirping whenever I'm trying to record a video. So much love to you guys. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. You guys are the family, man, and I'll catch you guys later on the next Warframe video. Please follow me over on Twitch. I am starting my endgame runs again over on Twitch. So whenever I go live, please come over and check it out. If you guys support the channel, whatever the case may be, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much and have a great day. All right, so after reading this comment, the only thing that I said after it was, freaking God, these birds are about to drive me crazy. I can't even do an intro. Oh my God. Oh, what the heck? This whole thing's ruined.